What is up, all my fellow weebs and weebettes? It is I, AnimeALX, back again with another build video. This time, I'm going to be checking out our bow builds, the best bow builds before Sunbreak comes out later this summer, or early this summer. And without further ado, let's get on into the builds, and also be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. It'll really help me out. So let's get into this first build, which is going to be the best raw pierce build. Now keep in mind, you can build bows a lot of different ways, and so I'm going to show you two raw builds, the most prominent raw builds. I'm going to show you the elemental builds, and then I'm going to show you a couple of side options that you could build for specific fights. This is going to be the raw, the first one of our raw bow builds, which is going to be the Night Flight bow, which is Nargacu's bow, and we are going to be shooting pierce ammunition or pierce shots. We have the Rampage slot for attack boost, and we don't get poison, or not poison, but power coatings. However, we do get close range coating plus, which is going to make up for the damage loss of power coatings. So it's kind of like, oh, you don't need to bring power coatings, you'll have constant damage throughout the whole hunt as long as you are in close range. You also get poison coatings and paralysis coatings for obviously paralyzing. And I would like to say one thing. Now, I have had this build for a minute, and so maybe I haven't not updated it, but I tried to, and I could not find a better build for it. My constitution is pitifully low, my stamina surge is not maxed, and yeah, it is what it is. I legit don't have a good enough talisman, and it's going to be kind of a reoccurring thing on this video where I just don't have a good enough talisman to max out my bow builds. Now getting into our build, you need 3 tenderizer jewels. Obviously, the reason why you need 3 tenderizer jewels is because the Night Flight has a base affinity of 40%. 3 tenderizer jewels allow you to have 50% extra affinity on weak spots, and obviously you should be aiming for weak spots. Should not have to tell you that, but this will take us up to 90% affinity. We have Mighty Bow Feather because this is going to be used on all of our bow builds, obviously, because of the extra shot, or the extra level of shot. We are going to need 3, count them, 3 pierce jewels because of obvious reasons. We have 1 critical jewel too, and I guess you guys are going to be saying, why are we using only 1 critical jewel too? We should be using more. Now, yes, you can make the argument of we definitely should have more crit. But sadly, there's just no way we can fit more critical boost into our builds. But we do have level 4 attack boost, which we get from Anjanath Coil S, and our Fatal Tempest Talisman of attack boost level 2 and level 1 Divine Blessing, where we also put our 3rd Pierce Jewel in. So I definitely, and also my face is really itchy from all these seasonal allergies, so I'm going to apologize if you see me itching my face a lot. I just have allergies and my face is itchy. Anyways, so we come down here and we have attack boost level 4, which we will get an additional 5% damage increase on top of an additional 5 + 5 raw, I believe. And for our 1 slots, we have 3 Hungerless jewels because I had enough room, and that means our stamina won't go down over the course of the fight. And we have 2 Quick Load jewels so we can get quick load, and then we have 1 Brace jewel for just to have 1 Brace jewel. I understand it's really not it's really not that big of a deal. And also I would like to apologize again of not having a better build for this, but don't worry, the builds get better when we go forward. And that is it for our raw Pierce build. Really good for really good for fights like Narwa and Ibushi. And here is our next bow, which is going to be the second and final raw bow that will have a mention on this list, which is going to be the Kami bow, which is the Demon Guidance. Now, you get a 3 slot, you get 0% affinity, you get recovery arc shot, and the charge shot you get is spread 2, rapid level 2, spread 4, and spread 5. This is going to be your best raw spread build, and you get power coatings, you get poison plus coatings, you get paralysis coatings, and you get close range coatings. So honestly, a little bit better than well, actually, I want to say a little bit better than Nargacuga, but you know, you can poison stuff better than Nargacugas, and you can also have paralysis. I don't understand why we have paralysis on this bow, but you know what? I'll take it. We have our rampage slots for attack boost level 3, but if you do want to mess around with Chameleos' soul, then by all means go for it. Our build consists of Mighty Bow Feather for the helmet, Rachna Mail for the chest, Valstrax Braces for the arms, Rachna Coil for the waist, and Rachna Greaves for the legs. I also just realized I didn't go over any armors of the previous build, which I'm just going to do like a fast rundown of the previous build. If I can actually find it, there's so many bows. For the previous build, we used Mighty Bow Feather, Vikemail S, Juratotus, Van Braces, Rachna Greaves, and Anjanath Coil. Anyways, let's get back into this build. So, what you will need is 1 Refresh Jewel, 3 Critical Jewels, 1 Tenderizer Jewel, and for our level 1 jewels, also you will need a Spread Jewel 3, and I put a Quick Load Jewel 1, and that's all you need, because I believe you get Quick Load from an armor piece. I want to say the Rachna Mail gives you Quick Load. So anyways, coming over here, as you see, we got spread up level 1 in the waist with and we got like 2 level 2 slots. And I would like to say that having Rachna Mail and Rachna Coil is going to basically give you spread level 2. And so since you have a level 3 slot in your weapon, you basically can get spread level 3. And bada bing, bada boom, as you see right there. We have also maxed out Crit Boost level 3 from just slots, and we also have maxed out Weakness Exploit level 3 from just Valstrax Braces and a level 1, or just an extra level of Tenderizer. Now, we also have maxed out Stamina Surge, which is why we have a Refresh Jewel level 2, and we have Constitution level 4, which all you have to do is pair this with Fighter, Eating for Dongo Fighter, and you will have maxed out Constitution. You also have Bow Charge Plus for an extra level of charge, and our talisman is essentially a Constitution level 2 with a level 2 slot. The wide range level 3 is just a bonus, but hey, wide range never hurt anyone, especially when we have recovery shots. So we can also double into a makeshift healer out on the battlefield if need be. I also put in a level of satiated just because so we can at least get some of our items back while we are taking them. And that is our build. Pretty fun. It's kind of like a makeshift healing bow build, but it also does a lot of damage, so don't let the healer moniker deter you from using this bow. Now, let's get into our elemental bows. And for our elemental bows, we use the same build. And I also want to let a disclaimer: feel free to use either the demon pedalins or the underworld pedalins for your builds. Some builds I use the underworld pedalins, and some builds I use the demon pedalins. It really just depends on how much constitution that I have in the build, and I just kind of change it around depending. So if you don't have like a maxed out build, so just use the underworld pedalins. If you do have a maxed out build, and by a maxed out build I mean that you can get up to constitution level 4, then just swap it over for demon pedalins. Anyways, coming over here to the rampage bows, we are, for our elements of ice, water, thunder, and fire, we are going to be using the rampage bow. So you are going to basically need to make 4 of these for each of the elements that I just said, and you need to upgrade them for elemental boost 1. Obviously put your choice of ice, thunder, fire, or water 3 in your rampage slots of which bow you are making at the time. Put firing rapid, or if you are going, in some cases you want to put in spread or you want to put in piercing, go and put in piercing. But I will get into the side grades, the elemental side grades, in just a bit, and you can see which elemental elements you don't put on piercing and spread and all that good stuff. But for the most part, rapid is going to be your go-to, so put in firing rapid. Use power coatings, use exhaust coatings, and the reason why you use exhaust coatings is because it adds like 10 more extra raw. So, and we put arc shot affinity because that's going to give us more damage due to affinity. How much? I believe it gives us 20% extra affinity, and so it puts us up to 70% affinity on this build. And then you just use your feline booster for 100% affinity, and we use the mighty bow feather, the Vikemail S, the Vike braces S, the chrome metal coil, the Rachna greaves, and for our fatal tempest talisman we are using a level 1 ice resistance, a level 1 constitution with a level 2 and 2 level 1 slots. Obviously I wish I had a better constitution talisman, which, you know, that's kind of the sad part about this build, is because I could, you know, trade off reload speed for my other constitution level 2 slot, but you know, I did really want the reload speed so I can freely change. But hey, if the reload speed isn't as important for you, which I don't blame you, then just, you know, trade it out to a constitution level 2 slot. But that is our build. Our stamina surge, however, is at a level 2 instead of a level 3, and our constitution is at a level 3 instead of our level 4, and that's kind of our shortcomings with this build. You will need 5 elemental jewels of your choosing, and also I want you to know, keep in mind, the same exact armor we are using for the dragon bow. It's just we're trading out the dragon bow, but we're using the same exact armor loadout. And for the dragon bow, you're going to use Ibushi's dragon bow. It's going to give you brace shot, and it's going to give you rapid shots, like all rapid shots. And actually higher raw than what you would use for the rampage bow in the same amount of dragon element. So I'm not going to go over it. Just letting you know. Anyways, you're going to need 5 elemental jewels of your chosen bow's element. You will need 3, count them, 3 weakness or tenderizer jewels. And you will need 1 level of crit boost. And now it's going to be kind of a common theme where we only have 1 level of crit boost, but hey, it actually does a lot of damage. So don't sleep, don't sleep. Anyways, that moving on to our next build. Now, we are going to be going over. Also, I forgot to tell you guys for the dragon bow. For the dragon bow, make sure you ramp up the dragon bow for dragon boost level 4. I forgot to say that. And also, this dragon bow is going to have a little bit less affinity than the other ones. So just keep that in mind. And let's get back into our side grades. Our first side grade bow is definitely going to be the piercing fire bow. Now, instead of using your rampage bow for piercing fire, like you would use your rampage bow for piercing water, if you so choose to, we are actually going to be using Arachna Kajachi's Arachna Torch bow. The reason why is because despite its measly 170 raw, it has a whopping 39 fire with a whopping 30% affinity on top of it, with a 2 slot and 2 1 slots. We also have recovery. We also have recovery shots, and our level of shots go from spread level 3s all the way, or at level 1, through Pierce level 5s. Also, for our rampage slot, we are going to be putting Fire Boost 2. And now I don't know which one is better to actually put, Fire Boost 2 or Attack Boost 4. Possibly Attack Boost 4 is better to put, now that I'm thinking about it. But hey, I need to test that out. So let me know if you test that out and you figure out if Attack Boost 4 is the way to go or Fire Boost 2 is the way to go. But I ramped it up for Fire Boost 2. And as you see here, we actually don't have any quick reload because we couldn't actually fit it into the build. And instead, we have opted for 5 fire attack jewels, 3 Fierce jewels. Our Fatal Tempest Talisman is a level 1 weakness exploit with a level 1 Wirebug Whisper with a level 3 and a level 1 slot. But as long as you have a weakness exploit level 1 with a level 3 slot, or a vice versa, like Pierce Up with a level 2 slot, then you are good to make this build. I also don't know why we are using Underworld Pedalins. We should be using Demon Pedalins on this build since we literally have maxed out affinity. I should really put that right there. And we are going to need, count them, 3, or do we need 3? I think we need 2 Tenderizer Jewel 2s thanks to our talisman, and we also need 2 critical jewels to just get our damage up as high as we can. We also put in 1 brace jewel for the lulls since we had 1 level 1 slot left over. But with all that being said, you do get maxed out Stamina Surge and maxed out Constitution 4, and this build does completely destroy Chameleos. If you do love running bow and you so happen to be facing Chameleos, please, please, please pick up this bow. This will destroy him. And I mean, like, absolutely just shred him. You also get power coatings poison coating, sleep coatings, and exhaust coating, so you can put to sleep people. So I would just like to leave that little tidbit. But yeah, let's move on to our next bow, which is going to be my personal favorite bow out of all the bow builds that I have made. This is actually my personal favorite bow, and this is Deoras Sagittari, which is Kushala Deora's bow. As you see, is a horse representing the Sagittarius constellation, which is centaur, but you know, centaurs are part man, part horse, and that's why we have a horse. Just a little bit of a trivia for you. Anyways, as you see, we have slightly better raw than our previous Arachna Torch. We also have 37 base ice. We also have 15% base affinity, and we have brace arc shot. We also have a level 1 slot, which is good. And our charge shot levels go from level 1 is rapid level 3 to rest being pierce level 3, and 2 pierce level 5s at level 3 and level 4, which adds on to the ludicrous amount of damage that this can do. Use this bow for Diablos. This will shred Diablos super fast, like insanely fast. We have ramped our slot for Kushala Deora's Soul, which adds an extra 30% affinity the more that we attack. And we do get close range coatings, power coatings, poison coatings, and paralysis coatings. So we are able to CC some monsters. And with this build all said and done, we get like 48 ice element at the end of it. We use the Mighty Bow Feather. We use AnimeALX, Rachna Arm Guards, Chrome Metal Coil, and Rachna Greaves. And again, I messed up, and I meant to put in Demon Pedalins since we have maxed out affinity. Now, the best part about this is it's fairly simple. We are using my previous talisman from the other build, and we are able to put in 5 Frost Jewels. We are able to put in 3 Pierce Jewels, 2 Tenderizer Jewels, thanks to our talisman, and we are able to put in 1 Critical Jewel. And we come out with level 4 Constitution, level 3 Stamina Surge, and that's basically all we need. And this build slaps and claps. I mean, like, it will shred anything weak to ice. Like, whether it's Zinogre, whether it's Diablos. I would say Rajang, but honestly, Rajang's body isn't as big enough to get multiple piercing procs on it, so I would just rather go normal rapid fire bow ice with it. But yeah, it's really great bow build. I really do recommend you build it. To wrap out our constant struggle of not remembering to put on Demon Pedalins 3s on our higher Constitution builds, here's our water spread bow, which is actually the last side grade bow that we have. This is going to be in the USJ events if you have not done those yet. You have 190 base raw, which is actually fairly high. You also have 35 hits of water, so it's very high water. You also have base 20% affinity and a 3 slot, so it's very, very stacked. And you also have a recovery shot. Your shot levels are spread shots through all out. And for our rampage slot, we put in water boost 4 because we have the reason why I didn't put affinity boost, you will figure out later in the build, and you basically get every single coating besides paralysis coating, which honestly I'd rather drop blast coating than paralysis coating, but oh well. The build consists of Mighty Bow Feather, AnimeALX, AnimeALX chest, Valstrax braces, Rachna Coil, and Rachna Greaves. And our Fatal Tempest Talisman is a Constitution level 2 with 3 level 1 slots. The reason why we had to opt for these 3 level 1 slots is so we can get in 5 stream jewels, which we successfully have done, and we come out to water attack level 5. We have spread level 3s thanks to our Arachna Coil with only using 2 spread jewel 3s, and we have maxed out weakness exploit thanks to Valstrax braces and 1 tenderizer jewel 2. And for the rest of our 2 slots, we just put in critical jewel 2s so we can have maxed out crit boost level 3. Our stamina surge comes out to level 2, and I would like for you to understand that since we are getting 70% affinity thanks to weakness exploit level 3, keep a fighter cat on you so you can get that extra 30% level of affinity, so you can hit 100% affinity and deal some pretty insane numbers to weak or water weak monsters such as Anjanath that would basically just get completely pulverized by this bow. With all that being said, those are your best bow builds before Sunbreak. I hope you guys enjoy, and remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out, all my fellow weebs and weebettes.